everybody, to another episode of Dondi DeVarreaux. I'm your girl, Val DeVarreaux, and I'm accompanied by my brother from another mother,
Prince Dondi. How are you? How's everybody doing today, huh?
Thank you for tuning in today on the Dondi DeVarreaux show. On this episode, we will discuss don't bring your past into your future. Tell them what we're talking about, Dondi.
Well, actually, it means just what it said. Don't bring that past into the damn future. Because one thing I can tell you it can do, it can make it, or it may be able to break it. You see what I'm saying? So the fact of the matter is that 9 times out of 10, it will break it. You know, I've had quite a situations, and I'm sure that you have as well.
I have, and it's such a turnoff, I must say.
Really?
It is a turnoff. You know, when you have a guy that you meet, and you know they immediately want to go into talking about their ex and what they did and this and that. I don't want to hear about that shit.
But you don't think that maybe that if they talk about it, they show you things that are do's and don'ts?
No, to me it's a turnoff. To me, if you're talking about somebody who you used to be with, that tells me one thing: that person is still in your head.
Well,
because when you're done, for me, when I'm done, I'm done. I ain't thinking about that ninja. I don't care where he at, what he doing, who he doing it with. So when you meet a new person, why bring that old baggage into a new situation? Because to me, I feel like that's airing your dirty laundry. And if I was a guy, as a woman doing that, if I was a guy, that would turn me off. Because I'd be like, damn, she got all these issues in the door. I feel like when I meet you, it should be about me and you getting to know each other.
But can it also, let me ask you this, let me play the devil's advocate for this moment. Can it also help the relationship into a fact of saying that, you know, some things you may do, and he says, I don't like that, you know, and you do it again, he says, look, I don't like that because my ex-wife used to do that. Or like making a sandwich, or basically opening a door, or just anything you may do in the kitchen or something. And he says, look, I've asked you not to do that, you know. And then he says, why you don't like it, why you don't like it, you know. Push on that type of
well, that's different. I mean, I can see it in that type of situation.
Then he'll say, you know, yeah, my ex used to do that shit. Now I told her ass about that. I don't want to.
That's fine, but what I'm saying is, when you first meet somebody, like, for example, I'll give you an example. I've met people, and it's like every conversation, they got to bring up their ex. Okay. I don't want to hear that shit.
I do agree.
I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear about what your problems are. You know, if I'm just meeting you, I'm getting to know you.
Right.
You're supposed to be presenting your best self to me. To make me interested in getting to know you better. That's how I feel.
Okay.
If I come in the door, I'm not finna tell you, I got to, my ex-husband, that motherfucker, he ain't shit. He wasn't shit. He cheated on me. He left me. And I got to do this for my kids and my son need. I got to get $2,800 for my son. How old is your son, baby? Oh, his son 30.
Well, you know, I do agree with that because I can coincide. You know, I can coincide with that. You know, today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm holding a cigar in my hand because basically before I came on air, I want to tell you this and apologize. So that's why I got my hand like that, because I had it in my hand and I was smoking. It's a great legal, and I love legal. There's no question about it. And it was so good, I didn't want to chop it, but I got to get on the air, so I had to chop just a small piece off while I came up here. So it hurt me so badly. So I'm just holding on. I'm just holding on to it because it feels so good. But yeah, I want to coincide with what she was just saying a moment ago. Because I had someone come over my house, and I tell you, she came over to my house and she got to talking to me. This was a while ago. And I hadn't seen her in a long time. She was fine as made wine even then, you know. We talked, and I hadn't seen her in a minute. And I'm thinking to myself, man, this is going to be pleasurable. It's always a treat when real players meet, you know. So I get in there, and we get to talking. Next thing you know, and we're eating the food, and we get food together. We get to eat it, and then she goes into a thing. Her phone rings. That's what happened. Her phone rang, and when her phone rang, she gets into it. She's talking on the phone right before we eating. The food is right there. So when she begins to talk on the phone, she says, yeah, you know, talking to her daughter on the phone, and tell her daughter, you know, whatever. And she hangs the phone up after 17 minutes of the conversation. 17 minutes, mind you. And then she says,
your food is there.
My food is there.
It's on the table.
I just started eating. I started eating after 5 minutes. I started.
So her food just sitting there.
Her food's just sitting there,
and she's on the phone.
And she's on the phone.
Okay.
So then she goes and says, I have to, you know, give this girl, her daughter, and her daughter's 26 years old. And she says, I have to give this girl $400. You know, she says because you know something's wrong with her car or whatever. And I said, yeah, and I'm still eating my food. So I said, you want something to drink? And she said, yeah. And she had a drink, but she wanted something else, some juice or whatever. So I went and got some juice. And she's still talking. So all of a sudden we begin to talk. And her phone rang again. She got up and said, excuse me, went to the washroom. Well, I got damn it, I'm going to finish my damn food now. You know,
her food still sitting there?
Her food still, she ate a little bit of it, you know, during the course of talking. She ate a little bit of it. She gets up, goes to the washroom, talk on the phone. She stays this time about 10 minutes. Comes back, put her phone down on the table and says, damn, I'll be damn. You know, I may have to give this girl this other $1,000. It's like $1,400. I already gave her, you know, $1,300 last month. You know, I'm working for her. And this, that, and the other. And my granddaughter.
Now, how long had you known her?
I've actually known this woman like 12 years. I actually have known her.
But I mean, this was like your first official date or something?
Official getting back. Yeah, I saw her and I said, hey, right, you know. And then she comes back and she says she's gonna give her $1,400. So I mean, you know, when she began to say that, I said, that sounds like you got problems. I began to eat. And then she goes into why her daughter's boyfriend's not treating her right and this, that, and the other. And goes into that particular situation. I said, man, look at here. I said, you know what? I said, I got to-go cups. Excuse me? She had her stuff in the glass. I said, yeah, I have to-go cups. What do you mean? I pulled out those big old red cups I have and poured her a drink into it and told her, get the fuck out of my house. She said, what? I mean, I know I shocked her when I said it, because, you know, I say that. I said, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out of my house. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm not trying to hear that shit. I'm trying to fuck. I'm not trying to, you know, sit up here and hold down for you and your daughter, because I'm not going to give you a fucking dollar. I'm not giving you no fucking $1,400 and something for your daughter unless you bring her ass over there and I'm fucking her and you. So if I'm not doing that, I'm not paying that. So the thing about it, she took it offensively, and she didn't call me back after she left, because she know what kind of person that I am. But I find it real offensive. You bring me, tell me about your damn daughter. I don't give a damn about your daughter. I don't care about your grandkids. I care about your ass. This is what's happening right here, right now. We don't have that kind of relationship. That shit, you know, that bothers me. That bothers me. It bothers me badly. I thought about it, and I told you about it. I told you about that situation. That situation was terrible.
A lot of women don't understand that, you know, this is my thing. Grown people are grown people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know, when they get grown, you gotta let them be grown.
Yes,
you know, they'll always be your children.
Yeah.
However, when they get to a certain age, they are adults.
I understand it, but also
they are adults.
Also, mind you, let me tell you, I went out with a young lady, and she had a 17-year-old son. I think I mentioned that to you a while back. I do believe I did, but if I haven't, I went out to dinner with her and went to this beautiful Cuban restaurant, you know. I love Cuban food, so I'm sitting there. And she's on the phone with her son, and she told her son, you know, put me on FaceTime. And he wouldn't put her on FaceTime, and she gets upset. And I can see she's angry. She left, went to the washroom, and came back, and still dialing the guy, put him on FaceTime. Where are you at in the house? You know, he was like, I said, excuse me, baby, put that phone down.
She on a date doing this?
Yeah, she's on a date. Me and her, that was our first date.
And ladies, this is why we lose.
It's not just black women. It's not just black women. It's women of all colors.
All the women who be wondering why you can't get a man and keep a man. You might be able to get a man to go on a first date with you, but when you exhibiting this type of behavior,
man,
he ain't gonna stay.
She stays.
He might knock you down, but he ain't finna put nothing into it.
Hey, look, she got so irate with it and told him, "Why do you have your shirt off?" He had a T-shirt on.
She doing all this on her date.
Yeah, and then she says, you know, he's 17 years old. Son was 17 years old, and his girlfriend that came over to his girlfriend's 19, and he's 17, whatever that means. But she was over the house, and they were sitting up in the living room. And then when she got it again, saw the picture when he got on FaceTime, they were in his bedroom, and she went crazy. You are better than I said, well, listen, hold up. I tell you what. I said, look, I asked for the tab. I said, give me the tab. And she had gotten like two. What is this? I'm not really familiar with drinks. Everybody know me. I'm not. What are those? Tequila, isn't it? Tequila. I'm saying it right here. She had 2 shots of tequila, so she was going to get really groovy, and I had a night set up. We were going to do many things, but she was mad. Get out of the room, get out of the room. So I said, your son's 17 years old. Has he ever had a nice idea over there? And said, yeah. I said, well, you know what? It seems like you have a problem with your son and this girl. No. I said, well, so I mean, what if he was over her house? I don't allow him to go over our house like that unless I know he's over there. I said, well, I'll tell you what. I said, let's do this. We got the tab, and I told him, waiter, I gave him his tip and everything, and I got up. She said, what are you doing? I said, I'm going to go home. I said, I know you going home to fuck your son. So I'm going to get out. Excuse me? I said, you fuck him. You go home and fuck him, because obviously you worried about women that he's with. So obviously you want him gay. If it was a guy, would it make you feel better? Or I mean, hey, you want to go and fuck him? You don't want him in a room with a woman. He's 17 years old. So what kind of problem are we having here? You don't want the girl to come over your house unless you're there supervising. He's 17. Fact of the matter, I'm sure you taught him better. Oh, his father was. Don't get to the father part. Don't get to that father. Oh, he was a cheater. He slept with. Oh, okay. Now here we go with that one. Here we go with that one. So we're not going to do that. So I kicked her. I left her ass. I kicked her right there where she was standing. And left her. And I know, and that's not just black women. Like I said, not just women of color. It's all women. Trust me.
I talk to some of my female associates, and they always wonder why they will have a first date, but they don't have any more. The guy don't call no more. They reach out to him. He sent them to voicemail, or he ignore them, or whatever, and they don't understand why. But this is a perfect example of why. Because I asked them, well, how did your first date go? What did y'all talk about? And they tell me just what you're saying. They get to talking about what they ex did to them, what they've been through, their kids, their problems, and I say, as a new person, like for me as a woman, if I meet a guy, and I might really like this guy, we go on our first date, and if he starts talking about that to me, that's like immediately taken away from the attraction I initially had. That's like, I'm not the damn psychiatrist.
Yeah, this is true.
I'm not Dr. Phil. I'm not here for you to vent.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to hear about what the hell your ex used to do, what she did to you, and what she doing. I ain't here to hear about what your kids doing and what they need and what you got to do for them.
Exactly.
If this is our first date,
exactly,
we talking about you and me, and we supposed to be getting to know each other.
Right.
So, for a lot of women, they don't seem to understand that.
Yeah.
They don't seem to get it.
Well, men as well. Let me add that. Men as well. Well, let me also add this in that to say this as much as that even up into the dating realm, you date a person 3 or 4, 5 months, and I do know this as well. They'll slide you into it. And they start bringing their kids in when you begin to say, okay, man, hey, we cool or whatever, and then you'll say that the kids start asking you things on the slide, and then direct. I've had that too. And that catches like me.
Give me an example of what you mean.
Well, another situation. I was dealing with this woman, and she had a daughter. She had a daughter, and she had 2 sons. As a matter of fact, one of my sons lived in town, the other son didn't live in town. And they would come by, and I would be over at her house. As a matter of fact, I spent a couple nights over her house a couple times, and mine as well. She spent, but her daughter got to the point where she got so comfortable. I guess she figured that, okay, well, he's dealing with my mom, so he would have no problem helping me out. And boy, was she wrong about that. Yeah, most definitely.
Don't tell me she asked you for no money.
Oh, she did ask me for money, and she didn't ask me for a little money. The fact of the matter is, she asked me boldly and proudly for $1,500.
$1,500.
She said to me, yes, she did. She says, I'm trying to get this car. I said, you work hard, you will get it. She said, I am working so hard. She says, I hate to go to work. She told me, she said, I hate to go to work. I said, well, you know what you do? You got to just go ahead and change jobs. She told me that, I promise you. And I said to her, I'm like, looking at her, I'm like, well, hey, I understand the sad look on your face. It gets that way. And she's like, no, I just got to get me a different man. I said, yeah, I guess you might have to do that. That might be a better choice. And I drove up one day because they had a garage. I drove in a garage, and she says, I said, where's your mom? Your mom says she'll be here. My mom said she'll be here in another 45 minutes, but I texted her back, and she told me that she's sorry she didn't text me with her daughter, said it'll be another 45 minutes. So I thought to myself, this is what I initially thought that was a setup. After I did that, I came in, came in the house for a minute, and I'm sitting down and she came to talk to me. But the thing about it, the way she came to talk to me, though, it was really, moving, actually, because she came on, those old gym shorts that we used to have way back in the days in the 80s?
Little bitty short shorts?
Little bitty short.
With the little stripes on the side.
And she's like, I gotta go to work. I was like, well, you gotta go to work. She worked at what she says, at some factory. I believe it was, she said she worked at some factory packing boxes or some things like that. Mm-hmm. And she told me, she said, I gotta go there tonight. And I'm looking at her daughter. I'm like, wow. I'm thinking to myself, this girl's 22 years old. Her daughter was 22. Mm-hmm. And she says, I gotta go to work. This is killing me. I mean, I said, oh, and she said, can you do me a favor? She said, don't you want to do me a favor? That's what she said. She didn't say, will you do me a favor? Don't you want to do me a favor? Mm-hmm. And she says, I said, what is that? You know, what's that? You know, I'm sitting up in there. I said, can I get an ashtray? Because every place I go, I smoke. Fuck the bullshit. So then she gets the ashtray and come on back and put the tray on the table. And I light the stick up, and she says to me, yeah, don't you want to give me $1,500? I said, fuck no. Immediately, I had smoke in my mouth, like, fuck no, what the fuck you talking about? No, fuck no. Immediately.
She caught you by surprise.
Yeah, I'm like, I thought she was joking, like $15 or something like that. Yeah, no problem.
$1,500.
Or $115 or something like that until I get paid.
They asked her for big money.
She said she wanted $1,500. I said, man, no. I said, that ain't gonna happen, Captain. She said, why not? Because it ain't. Not 50, ain't you know 1500. You ain't my woman. You the brother I'm dealing with daughter. But I'm not giving you $1,500. And I said, you won't be sorry if you gave me that $1,500. I said, yes, I will. No, you won't. You just don't know. You don't know how to treat it. And I didn't get it. And you know what? When I left, I said, ding! A light popped on in my head. I knew exactly what time it was. You know, she was ready to spread her like butter and toast. Oh, I know, man. Well, look at here, man. I'm telling you something. That's all money. Is really something.
For the love of money.
For the love of money, man. That's no lie. And I knew that's what she was talking about. And I didn't bring it to her mom after I spoke to her about it, because mom showed up with it. We didn't talk about that. And she was constantly at me about that. You know what I'm saying?
Did you ever tell her mother what she was saying to you?
I would never do that.
Why not? I would have told her.
I don't do that. Because I can handle it myself. It's like a woman. Guy tried to talk to my woman. You know, if my woman's a woman, she can handle that situation. I don't get too far irate. You know, sometimes we can create a problem. You know, we can create a problem that could have been squashed right then and there. You know, no means no, this is what's happening, don't do that again. Or I will. And that's her to say that I will do this. I didn't have to threaten her. I told her, I said, no, I'm not going to do that. That's not going to happen. I never brought it to her mom, you know what I'm saying? But I felt deep in my heart and spirit and mind, body, and soul that her mother knew that she had asked me for that particular finance, but it wasn't going to happen. And I don't think that her mom...
You thought her mother knew?
I'm telling you.
Do you think still to this day she knew?
From this day to this day, even now, I know that her mother knew. Her mother knew because, you know, there are strange things about people. You know, it's strange. You look, I'm going to tell you something. And this is real. You know, people watch them in the beginning and watch them in the middle. You know, watch them in the middle. And I'm not saying this to everybody because it's never all of anything in this world. It isn't. But women especially, I'll tell you this. And if you have daughters, you know, and if your daughter's of age or maybe underage, whatever, but they have this certain type of chemistry. Men and women have a chemistry all out in life, whether they like each other or not. They always have a chemistry. They have a game plan all together. They treat each other differently. Men talk to women differently than they talk to men, and women talk to women differently than they talk to men. So women. So the thing is that notice when they get real friendly and started getting to the point of really into the caring of it, not just of an innocent part about it, a serious angry part about it, they've touched that ground one way or another, whether they, you know, touched it and rubbed it, or they know what it is. You know, she's been there, you know, and I know that, you know, she used to work, this lady here, she told me, she says, well, I'm not married anymore, but, you know, my ex-husband, she always say my ex-husband, she would say her ex-husband like every other situation. I started thinking about, so damn, why don't you get back with this mother?
I know, because that's all in your head. I don't want to hear that shiggity.
She's all with her ex-husband, and her ex-husband was not her daughter's father. You know, he wasn't. There was not. So she was like, yeah, he would take her, he'd give her money, wouldn't even give me money.
Well, how do you feel about that when they constantly talk about their ex? That irritates my soul.
It bothers me. The thing about it is that I stop it.
I feel like this is my time.
I stop.
Don't be talking about that bitch with me.
I stop it in the middle, and I tell them that, hey, this is what it is. If you don't want to deal with that, you don't play a card, then we can do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I can show you better than I can tell you. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing? I'm with my ex-girlfriend right now. She's shopping.
Right. Because I don't do that to people. I feel like that's so rude.
I'm going to cut you off.
I feel like that is so rude. If you with me, this is my time.
Yeah.
Don't rob me of my time talking about your ex. If you got to talk about your ex, that mean that's still in your head, that's still in your heart. That's where you want to be.
They bringing everything.
And you bringing all that shit to me. But I don't want. That's what we don't want you to do, people. Right. That's what this whole episode is about.
Right. Exactly.
That right there is a game changer. That's a deal killer.
It is.
When you meet somebody, don't come in the door talking about venting about what your ex did and what you've been through.
Good or bad. Yeah,
don't leave it alone. A new situation, you know, bring new energy to the table.
Exactly.
You know, come in with positive vibes.
I was telling you about this other friend of mine, and I tell you, her daughter, was her daughter's leg had been broken, and she had a grandkid, and she's like, well, I got to take care of my grandkid now, and she couldn't even come out. The woman couldn't even come out some days. She couldn't come out. She couldn't come and hang out. She couldn't come and smoke and nothing. She couldn't do anything. She's, well, okay, I'll wait for my daughter to get back, but my daughter's like, she's not going to come back for another 2 or 3 days. She leave the baby with her 2 or 3 days. Well, you're a grandmother now. So the fact of the matter, she said, well, I'm going to just deal with it. I said, well, yeah, you just deal with it. I ain't going to deal with you no more. I had to shut that down because she was bringing that past into what could have been, right. Somebody could have been really, really good for. It's your turn now.
Right.
When it's your turn, it's your turn. It is not the next person's turn. Let's get that straight. Let's get that out there. So when you started putting other people in it, for as your past, this is what you're going to get, a big blob. A person would have done something or would have went further, but they're afraid now because now they have to, they got something now they got to measure up to.
Right.
Say, wow, I'm not like that. Or just, that thing there is a really
for me,
thing.
it's like a turnoff. I'm like, man, I don't even want to deal with this situation.
Yeah.
I don't, this is too much drama. I live a pretty peaceful existence.
Yeah.
And I don't bring any baggage.
Yeah.
I'm not bringing you no. I never been a baby mama. I'm an ex-wife. Never been a baby mama. But I don't bring any baggage.
But what if like, have you been through the situation of that when you go over to someone's house, right? Mm-hmm. Every time you go into their house, their kids are always there and awake. No. And you all feel like you all are in performance in front of
that would drive me crazy.
You're performing this in front of an audience, and the kids don't go no place.
Oh Lord, that would drive me crazy.
You're just like, you look at the main thing you say, what grade are you in? Now we got to go to the school thing. What grade are you in? I'm in 5th grade.
Oh no.
And they look at you so sincere. And what grade are you in? 8th grade.
That would drive me up a wall.
I'm a sophomore. Okay. In other words, now
maybe
get the hell out of here.
I was single for so long.
Man, I'm telling you. And then
I have a zero tolerance.
And then you
tell her, sorry.
You tell her you come over. Don't go over the place hungry and say, Donna, you know what? I'm hungry, sweetheart. Yeah, I was thinking that too. I'm hungry too. Junior, what you want?
Uh-oh.
And Junior always get 2 or 3, 4, 5 hamburgers at one time by himself.
Oh.
Then you ask the other one, I don't want nothing. He mad.
Oh.
Maybe because you didn't give him those pair of Jordans. Man.
That's too much drama. I'm sorry, people. It is.
Speaking of that, it makes me laugh about a situation. This young lady's son was in 8th grade. He was so angry with her, and he come to me, and I'm over the house. I'm going to get something to eat. Truly, just like this. And he's so mad. I said to him, why are you so mad at your mom? Because she won't give me those Jordans. I said, well, how much are the Jordans? $390-something, almost $400. I said, she says, I can't afford to go buy Jordans like that. And I said to him, well, listen, why don't you go to Michael Jordan and ask him, can you get $50 of your rent and see what he says to you? And you know what he said to me?
What?
I'm not going to ask Michael Jordan no simple question like that. I said, it's a simple question. But it's not a simple question to tell your mother to give you $400 for some gym shoes, though. Well, she can stand it. I said, well, Michael Jordan's a billionaire. So you think he can't give you $50 on your rent? He won't give you $50.
He don't care less about your damn
So the
rent.
fact of the matter is that your mom is not going to go into the poorhouse or miss a bill because of that. That little boy got so angry and so upset he couldn't stand me.
Oh.
When I would drive up to come over to their house, he would make himself lost. That was a good part about it because I didn't have to perform for an audience.
Get the hell away from me.
It was always he'd always stay up the latest. He's
good. Stay your ass away from me.
You get those kids. You get them this, and you say, look, can you check your kids? Can you put them in order? And it's hard to do that in a relationship. I've had sex with a woman one night. I never will forget this. Come over to her house, booty call, 1 o'clock in the morning. We went to her house. We getting down in this room. This is one of them nights we getting down. When you getting down?
Watch out there now.
I'm telling you, we getting down. In other words, you have this thing in your mind. If my friends could see me now, that type of thought you have in your mind.
Oh, okay.
And that was one of them nights. And man, I drove all the way out to this woman's house, man, and we throwing down. So she had a son. Her son's 15 years old. And we throwing down. The doors closed in the room. And she got the blue light on. And we throwing down up in the joint. We throwing down.
The boom, boom.
Yeah, we throwing down. Her son, 15 years, opened the door up and came and look at here. This is real talk.
What?
This is real talk. He opened the door,
You lied.
came into the room, up to the bed where I got mama and a finger 4.
Why was the door unlocked? That's
Well,
what
it don't
I
have to
want
be locked. It don't have to be locked. The door is closed. You know, they're adults. They know don't come in the room. They know they got somebody's in the room. She said normally he knocks on the door. First of all, why are you going into your mama's room?
Exactly.
I got her in a figure 4.
Uh-oh.
Twisted up like a pretzel. I'm throwing down. She called me
Daddy,
Big Daddy,
fool.
Daddy.
I love it when you call me Big
I'm
Papa.
killing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm flexing. I'm flexing on her. I'm throwing down like a champion.
Daddy, you a fool.
I'm throwing down like a champion. Not a champion, but a champion I'm throwing down.
Oh, Lord.
And this sucker.
He opened the door.
This sucker opened the door up.
We
Walked into the room. Up to the bed. And said, hey, mama. This was
Lord, I would have fainted.
Can I have the keys to your car so I can get such and such out of your car?
Oh.
Now, I'm going to tell you something. In all honesty, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm like, what the bejeez? What the fuck is this? But I got to tell you, this woman here, I'm going to tell you. See, I ain't going to tell some of the story. I'm going to tell it all. She jumped up, grabbed her robe, threw her robe on, and I'm telling you this. Joe Frazier, with him and Muhammad's first fight, didn't have nothing on her.
She got to beating his
Look
ass.
here. She had 11 brothers. She had 11 brothers from the same mother. She had 11 brothers and one other sister. So it was 13 of them from the same parents.
Oh, we.
She's only 2 girls in the family. I'm not lying to you. She got up out of the bed, man, and she hit him with a left hook, knocked him into the wall, and stuck him in the chest with that right, knocked him under the counter. And I'm telling you, she was shuffling like Ali. I'm telling you, his head was so, I had to go in there literally and pull her off of this guy. She beat the brakes. When they say beat the brakes,
that's what she should have done.
She beat the brakes. I'm talking about, look here, and look, she had no shoes on her feet. But when I was getting up, she stomped him in the throat and in the chest. She was stomping him.
That's what she should have did.
She put the foo-fas. She put the foo-fas. Blood was all over. Like a murder scene.
She should have beat his ass.
Look, she handled that business.
But she should have locked her damn door.
No, she said, this is my house. I don't have to lock my door. She said, I never locked my door. He never came in my room before. She told me that.
He just did that because she was with a man.
Yeah. She said, he's never came in my room before. I never locked my doors in my house. And boy, believe me, she said, get your stuff. Pack your stuff right now. You going to your daddy's house.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, thank God. That's what I was saying. But
you was glad.
Look at here. She packed his stuff up. I'm not lying to you. I was sitting up in the room like, baby, look, I'm gonna leave. No, you gonna stay. And after I see enough throw that on him, I said, yeah, I'm gonna stay.
You ain't want no trouble.
Look, she packed this shit up, called his daddy up. His daddy, he worked for the city, and he was like, man, I'll be off in a minute and whatever. And man, look at here. She packed this stuff and made him sit on that porch and wait for his dad to come get him. And he stayed with her for like 6-7 months.
Wow.
That's true.
That's what she should have done. She should have beat the brakes off his ass.
This is my house, and I never had to lock my door for nobody. He ain't never came in my room like that. But it should be more mothers like that, and that way you'll have a man. And the thing about it is that she's a very good girl. She's a very good woman, and that something happened to her that she this while ago, long ago. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you, I'm here to say right now, she's a good girl. She knows who she is. She's a great girl. She was a very great girl. And sadly, I can tell you the same thing. It's the true story. The boy got killed.
Oh. He
got killed. Well, you say, but he
was out there in them streets.
Yeah, and he got killed, and after he got killed, she was never the same. But I remember that day. She took care of that business, and she's never been the same. But she's great people, though. She's great people. But I do remember, boy, I said, man, I've never seen nobody throw it. I've never seen a woman fight like Joe Frazier. Man,
I'm glad she should have did that because you have to learn respect.
But you know what? I dated her about a year. Mm-hmm. About a year, for the incident or whatever. But I dated her. Maybe a little bit over a year. And, she would never, ever, no matter what, ever bring up her ex-boyfriends, ex-high school lovers, she never brought up any of that.
And see, that's what you're supposed to do.
And I really like that about her, you know what I'm saying? She could have been one-on-one.
That's what you're supposed to do. I mean, I could see maybe maybe after you've gotten into the relationship, you got some time in and you all have established a connection or whatever. If you are at that comfort level and they ask you, baby, I just got some things on my mind I want to talk about. If you there, but when you first meeting somebody, when you got a fresh relationship, don't bring your past into your future. I mean, you were gonna cut off your chances of having a future.
That is true. I do agree.
That
is definitely true, because it could just change you think, so well, you let him do that, or you let her do that. And I feel like, why'd you let her? Well, I'm not letting anybody do that no more. So they did it.
Oh no, you let that mutant treat you that way. So don't come here trying to change shiggity up on me.
That's what I'm saying. You change the horse in the middle of the stream. You can't do that. So
why was she able to do it and now
I can't. You give her how much every week? You give her an allowance, and you tell me I got to get my own. It's a thing of that nature.
I think that's why I stayed single for so many years. I was single for many years, on purpose, intentionally, because everybody that I would meet, they would do the same stuff.
Yeah,
they would always, on our first date.
But I want to tell you, men and women, it doesn't get any easier. I got to let you know, it does not get any easier. I promise you, it doesn't. It will, believe me, as you get older, and I say this,
harder.
I say this. That's why I don't date older women. And when I say older women, I try not to go past 40. I don't try to date them past 40. I don't. Not because of that, because sometimes you have kids. But then you can catch them in their 20s with a whole bunch of kids and a whole bunch of drama. But I said this to a friend of mine, and they were strongly disagreeing, of course. Why you date them in their late 20s or in their 30s? Because, they could have a whole bunch of guys. So, well, the thing is, the chances are less. You know what I'm saying? The chances are less that they'll have that. Because as you get older and everything, you have more and more baggage as you get older, because you live more life. And the thing about it is that, women learn from men. And let's face that. Kids learn from their mother. This is true. But women learn from men, because women will tell you a lot of things their father taught them. Women will tell you a whole bunch of things their mom have taught them. I mean, their dad has taught them, and they'll go on that. So they'll go on things in which everybody's on a level of trying to be like their dad. If she lived at home with her dad and she has a dad, it's going to always be on that level of her dad. So she's going to always have you in that, that realm. And you have people that say, okay, my dad wouldn't do that. You got to understand that, because one thing about it, it's like a mother and a son and a daughter and a father. It's going to always be that type of thing that she wants to compare you with. So don't feel bad when she says that thing about my dad doesn't do that, or my girl does that. My girl does that an awful lot. I mean, I noticed that she
compares you to what her father.
She says different things, and I say, oh, my dad says that, or she'll say different sayings. I'm like, where did she get that from? My dad, and she does that a lot. But her dad's a good guy. Don't get me wrong, I like him, I dig him, and I if you don't like a person's dad or whatever, so I'm sure that would be a bad thing. But women have a thing, they stuck, they're stuck like this. Some guys are mama boys, and you'll see he got a lot of bitch in him. He'll stay there, and he'll follow a lot of things womanly ways. But if a girl have that father thing in them, they have a lot of like, okay, I'll clean it up myself. I got that. Don't worry about it. You see that type of mentality in them, which that's something. Don't worry about that being brought into your present relationship, because that's how they're taught. I don't get that twisted now, because she's taught that way. If she's taught to do it that way, she taught it from dad, and you're like, oh, okay. Now sometimes my girl will bring up things about her mother, which are very, very, very seldom. Very seldom she'll say something about her mom, and she'll be like, yeah, my mom, whatever. She never gives those props. Women usually don't, but they tell you they love their mom, but they'll never give them those props like that, which they learn from, because every woman basically wants to learn. And the thing about it is that I'm saying I deal with younger women, is because the fact not just women, because they're like a sponge. A woman's like a sponge. She learns those things and she'll take it, and she'll show other people on how to do it, and she learned this from a guy. So those things are the reasons why I do that. But when you get a woman who's basically in late 30s and up, you will find her. She'll be, if you tell her there's something that she's doing wrong and you don't like it, believe me, most of the time, not all of, there's never all of anything. Most of the time, she'll still do it, and she'll tell you, "I don't care. I'm sorry you don't like it, but this is my life."
So you're saying they even if you bring it to them,
they'll tell you that. They'll say, "This is my life. This is what I'm dealing with. You got me along with all that trouble." They'll tell you that. Now, let me tell you, now it's not just women of color. They'll tell you, well, this is what you bargained for. This is not what the hell I bargained for.
Right.
It's not, but they'll tell you.
And I don't have to take it.
They will tell you that yeah, well, I got to deal with Tyrone and his kids, well, because this is what I'm dealing with. You got me, you knew I had kids.
No.
And then they will tell you that, and they will say, oh, I'm with this man for 18 years or whatever, and it goes along 18 years because the kid is there forever if he's living, and you bury him. I mean, he buries you and you start burying him or her. They will tell you, women are strong on that when I'm saying they get older. Oh, you could be here today, but you could be gone tomorrow. Yeah, that's a great thing, but I could always be here. So think about that factor. And think about it is that they not always, they get to the point is when they put you in that position is to be disrespected by their children, and that's another thing as well, because that's their past. And I tell them off the top, I don't take assassin from no one. I never have. I don't take assassin. So you're not going to tell me something, and that's what you bargained for. Well, I'm not gonna buy your kid a brand new car.
That's why a lot of women be single.
It's not gonna happen. And the thing about it is, I gotta take your kid. Oh, the hell with you and the hell with your child. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the thing about it, if I like you and I'm dealing with you don't put me in a position where I have to do this because I'm dealing with you. Well, baby, it's a whole bunch of them lined up.
Right.
Check the line. I don't have to deal with you like that.
Absolutely.
So you tell me, if you want to deal with me, you got to deal with me and all this baggage. And you're looking at a train that lasts 20, 30 block long. You're like, holy smoke. Oh, no, baby. It ain't worth it. Oh, but it's usually, not always. But it's usually on that level where you're dealing with those people like that, where they will tell you that you're going to take me and my kid. They say, you're going to take me along with the kids, all this baggage, and what you're coming with. I don't know too many guys that'll say that. They'll say, well, babe, I got 7 or 8 kids, and this is what you're dealing with. I don't know too many men that'll say that, but I do know a lot of women.
I never ran into any men that do that per se.
Yeah, but women come on. I
have run into men who want to consistently bring their ex up.
Yeah,
and that for me, I mean, I just feel like at a certain point, you just get over it. You cry 2 tears in a bucket and fuck it. Yeah, I mean, an ex is a fucking ex. Yeah, if you still want that mother sucker, go and pursue that. But once they've made it clear to you that you ain't what they want, leave it alone.
Well, they'll tell you they have a kid by them.
That doesn't matter. But when your kids is grown folks.
To me it doesn't. Yeah, even then, though.
When your kids are adults.
Yeah, I'm telling you, though.
You can deal directly with your children.
I have.
You don't have to deal with your ex because you got kids.
I've experienced it.
You don't have to. And at that point, let me just put out this disclaimer. On the Dondi DeVarreaux show, the views and opinions expressed in our show are just that, our views and our opinions. We intend to offend no one. However, if you are of the faint of heart, I'm appalled, this ain't the show for you.
No, it's not for you.
Because we keep it real.
Keep it real, yes indeed. But I will tell you, me myself, I'm a straight shooter. And I think about it, I mean, I'm not going to accept anything unless I want to. I don't kiss nobody's ass unless I want to.
Absolutely.
But that's true. But the fact is that I'm not going for that. I mean, myself, I'm not going for it. And they will tell you, oh, you're selfish, you're evil, you this, you that, and the other.
No, that doesn't make a person evil.
They will tell you
we all have the right to live in peace and harmony.
Yeah.
Like you and I, we train every day. We have peace in life.
Exactly.
We don't have drama in our lives.
Exactly.
And we worked hard to get to that place.
Exactly.
We've been through things, and at this point in our lives, we at that plateau where we just want to enjoy life.
You just want to be peaceful.
Exactly.
You want to be at ease,
And it's not right for you to come into my life and try to unload your baggage on me. I don't want your baggage.
They'll definitely do that.
And then call me evil because I don't want to deal with it.
Well, the thing about it is that a lot of people, and I would mainly say women, and the guy he's chasing, so the thing about it is that he wants some of this. This is what he got to deal with. You want you to jump over hurdles,
that's why you
eat fire, walk on glass. They want you to do all these things right here for a piece of tail. So my thing is, I say this to that, is that. If you're a fool enough and a sucker, I call you a sucker. If you're a sucker enough to go for it, then go for it because you're a sucker. But me, myself, I tell them to push on, like Flintstone. I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to go for it. I'm not going to go for it because you got a choice. Like you say, you got a choice.
You do. You have
my
a choice.
My choice is I'm not going for the bull.
You have a choice, and there's so many people out here today they're so afraid of being alone.
Yeah.
That they just
they accept that.
anything.
They'll accept that. They'll accept that particular
But
thing.
I would tell anybody, peace of mind is priceless.
Yeah, but and also past is heavy. The past is heavy, man, because you going back into thinking about you and whomever you dealt with. You know what I'm saying? You bringing that to me, and I got this on my head too. You know what I'm saying? Other things in which I basically have on my mind. And every time I look up, you bringing this person up. You bringing this person up. You talking about these people,
and they have moved on.
Yeah,
they got
people.
them somebody else doing something else.
Not just one person. It's these people because they'll tell you a few of their exes. And me myself.
Man.
But I've ran into a lot of situations, man. I have. And
now let me ask you this, Dondi: is it when you run into these situations, is it women of a certain age group?
Yes, it is. It actually really is. I must tell you.
Now, what is it?
It's the age like 40 and up.
40 and up.
40 and up. Yeah, 40 and up. Mm-hmm.
So they always want to bring up the past.
And you want to deal with them because you're like, man, it's seasoned, baby. This here is gonna be really nice. And she can talk about what you talk about. She can talk about music and things what you've done.
Right.
She could be in your realm. But then you get to it, man. Shit, man, you be like, this ain't even worth it. So let me go ahead and step back.
I know the other day you were at the cigar bar.
What? Yeah.
You at the cigar bar.
Right.
And you met somebody.
Yeah.
And it seemed like it was just a downward spiral with the same thing we're talking about now.
Man.
You ready for her to get the hell away from you?
That's it. Oh man, Jesus Christ, holy smack! And I was just talking to her, and it's amazing. And I thought to myself, I said, it is good. My girlfriend's crazy. It's all outdoors to me. And I thought about it, man. I sat up in the car and smoked a cigar. I said, thank God. I mean, I'm thankful that I got a crazy girlfriend because this woman that came in there talking to, I swear to you, man, she was so much into her daughter and her granddaughter, man. I just wanted to say, what the hell are you in
that
this
was her
place
whole
for?
conversation?
Yeah, that was it. That was just her whole life. Her whole life is just, I don't know what school she went to. I don't know anything. Her main thing is coming in with a granddaughter and a daughter, and Lord have mercy in Jesus.
Oh, wow.
It just came into that. And it was like, man, hey, man, look, this right here is just sickening, man. I mean, does a man sit up and listen to this? Does a man sit up, whoever you are, and you sit up and listen to that, I got a fresh Louisville slugger. I just want you to hold your head straight because I'm going to come over there and cluck you one great time with it. Because you got to be crazy to hear that woman talk about stuff like that. That's all she talk about. Her granddaughter and her daughter. Nothing else.
She didn't tell you anything about her?
Nothing. You know what? I don't even know what's her favorite color.
Wow.
I don't even know. I don't even know what's her favorite TV show. All I know is her daughter's favorite TV show and her granddaughter's favorite TV show. That's it.
That's why.
I know where her granddaughter. I know where her daughter shops at. I can't tell you what she shops at.
That's why women be losing.
I can tell you how much money she gave her daughter, but I can't tell you how much money she got.
That's why so many women out here always talking about they can't find a good man, and you gotta look in the mirror.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, you gotta evaluate self. If you constantly run into a brick wall when you meet men,
yeah,
you gotta look at yourself and say, what's wrong with me? I told a good, associate of mine that, it's like every time she would meet a guy, just say, for example, if it's 7 days in a week, she'll meet 7 different guys.
Wow.
It's something wrong with every damn guy. And I told her, girl, I say, every guy ain't bad.
She got bad kids?
No, she don't have no kids.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And she's a younger woman.
Mm-hmm.
She ain't 40. She ain't 40 yet.
Well, okay, I know what she is. I know the problem.
You know what I'm saying? But every time she'll call me, she'll be so excited. I met this guy, and, he does woo-woo-woo, and we're going to lunch, and...
I know what it is.
All the time.
I know what it is.
Oh, girl, he wasn't nothing.
I know what it was.
He wasn't my type. What?
I know what it is.
I told her, I say, at what point do you look in the mirror?
I know what
like
it is.
Michael Jackson say, the man in the mirror.
But I know her problem.
What's her problem?
Her sex is garbage.
But she don't get to the point of sex. This is what happens.
Well, she tells you that, but she does.
She meets up with these guys, and then she don't hear from them no more after that day.
Because actually, you found out exactly what page she, or either she's one of them sister non type people. She ain't giving it up, or she giving it up too much, and it ain't nothing that she think that it is. It's one or the other way. Other than that, guy will stay there. Guy will be a woman's friend if he like her. She's funny, and same way about women and men. If she like her, he like her, and it's funny, and they have a good time, yeah. But she's probably nasty and snobbish, or her sex is
Yeah,
snobbish.
she kind of snobbish, and
Yeah.
I told her, like I asked her, what do y'all talk about, because they'll have a first date, and then he stopped responding. He don't call back. He don't respond to the text. She
Even
calling him. He don't call her back.
Either she comes
So
on
I
there.
asked her, give me an example of what you talk about.
She comes.
She come across too damn demanding for one.
Well, there you go. I do know that. They tell you, well, look, first of all, if you think I'm one of them hoochies that gonna give you something on the first date, that ain't gonna happen. And then I tell you, they'll tell you
And
about
you
that.
got to do
So
woo.
You said,
Woo,
wait a
woo,
second.
woo.
This is coming from her past experiences. This
Right.
coming from her past experiences.
This is
So
what
yes,
I
this is not gonna
require.
happen. Nah,
I
I've had
want
that.
this, and this.
I've had those as
You
well.
know?
I've had those as well. Tell you, yeah, well, I don't sleep with a man on the first date. And first of all, then a man going to have to show me he really like me because you're going to buy me this, he's going to buy me that.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute, a person can buy you things don't mean they really like you. You know what I'm saying? He can slut you out. So the fact of the matter is that I do know that a person will tell you many things, and breaking up on the very first date, many things they go for, things they won't go for, which is really garbage because they'll go for anything. They go first, actually. But the fact of the matter is they'll pretend like they're not going for anything, but they're going for everything in actual reality. This is what the truth is.
Yeah, because I told my associate, I said, you need to look in the mirror. I said, every guy ain't bad. Because she would show me these guys.
Yeah.
And, I look at their little profile or whatever, and it sounds like, something promising. And he never called me back.
Well,
and I ain't calling him. I don't chase nobody.
Well, I tell you, that's exactly
And I'm like,
what
what
it
you
is.
do on the first date? And she'll tell me, I just told him like it is.
Right. See, that's what my point. She'll come on and tell you what her do's and her don'ts, what she's not going to do in this, that, and the other. Instead of saying, being compromisable of understanding exactly what a person's situation is. There's, of course, when a guy sees a woman, he's physically attracted to her. I'm sure it's the same thing about a woman. Then you get to the mental state and all those other states. You get to those things later, but you don't come on top. Yeah, but I know you think about you want something tonight, but it ain't going. You don't have to tell nobody that. You don't have to tell them that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, always keep the carrot in front of the horse. Never just give it to him. You right here, give it to him. And he don't want to go nowhere. Then. So the fact of the matter is that I understand that she's really a nincompoop. She's really stupid.
She a nincompoop.
Exactly that. Exactly.
Oh Lord.
Exactly.
Women, I hope that, this is helping you.
Yeah.
And men too. Men do it too.
Especially because men be having some serious problems too, I tell you.
Right, men too. I hope this is helping you to
exactly.
understand that you could be missing your blessing. Because there's some really good women out here,
oh, yeah.
That's looking for somebody and will be a great woman to you. I know I am. And I know I done passed by many.
I understand.
I done passed by many for this very reason.
Yeah.
Because all they could talk to me about was what they done been through and what their ex did and didn't do. And, I just like, okay, I'm not Dr. Phil. I ain't Dr. Ruth.
Yeah, but the thing about it,
I don't want to hear all that.
You understand exactly where they're coming from when they talk the ignorant stuff to you. You say to yourself, well, yeah, that's where you messed up at, right there. Boom.
Boom.
Yeah. But when you tell them that, they don't try to
They don't receive it.
No, they don't receive it.
They want to debate the issue.
They go back and forth. Like, we're not
No,
going back and forth.
I'm not doing all that. It's not that important to me.
Actual factual is that you're asking for too much.
Right. It's not that important to me. I'm not going to sit up and debate the issue with you. If you tell me, I had a man tell me he gave his wife his entire check. I worked many, many, many years. And you know this. I worked many years with guys who would tell me they give their wife their whole work check.
I've heard
and then they go work a side job and they keep that money. First of all, I'm a woman. And that's the dumbest shit I ever heard.
I'm not doing that for no one. No one.
That's the dumbest shit I ever heard.
See, the thing about it, they wouldn't took that from a past relationship and telling you now into your present relationship what they did. Now the thing about it, if you demand them to start doing that, well, you did it for her, you did it for Betty Boop, you did it for Betty Boop, so now I want it done. Now he gonna think that you're wrong.
He like, now I'm wrong.
Yeah, where you get that from? I got it from your ex. Your ex, you did it
got
for your
ex.
You. It's like a woman told me a while ago. As a matter of fact, she told me. She says, I've never been with a guy who did anything for me. She said to me. She said, I paid their cell phone bills. And I said, oh. The minute she said that, I stopped her. I said, well, wait a minute. No, I was going, no, when you got to go no further, I promise you. I just had that knocked off. I said, well, I think it's time for you to go. I was going to tell, no, she texted me back. I paid this elbow. She texted me, wanted to get the message through. I paid their car notes. Well, I'm like, hey, I'm not going to ask you for nothing like that. I know you can't pay mine. And the fact of the matter is, if I got to ask you for all this here, then what I need you for? I mean, you're no good to me. So you so much. I paid their sale bills, paid their rent, paid this, that, and the other. I'm like, man, I'm thinking about myself, where you get money from? Because she didn't appear to be that wealthy to me. But then again, some people may be. But I doubt it. But the fact of the matter is, she was idiotic enough to tell me that she paid all these bills, right here. She paid for different guys. Mm-hmm. She was a sucker. She's a real sucker. And me and her, we don't even talk anymore, as a matter of fact. She and we don't talk
anymore. I know
anymore.
women that do that.
She don't even talk. We don't even talk anymore. I can see if you help a person out that really needs it, and you're able to have it. Just different when you're able to have it, and you give it to a person, and yet still, from then you really can't stand it, so you're hurting yourself to help them. Then, that person shouldn't want you to do that.
I know women who do that. Yeah. I know women who pay car notes. They pay phone bills.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Why do you do that? That's a grown-ass man.
Well, the thing about it is that, and then the thing about it, they be fresh in the relationship. It's not that they're new in a relationship. They're fresh in the relationship. It's like they're maybe 3 or 4 or 5 months. Oh, he was having a hard time. So when he gets into this relationship with you, and you are going 7 or 8 months, a year, 2 years, and you're still paying these bills, we're going to get upset. Because then still, this is something which he told you he did in his past relationship. So now you're doing it in this relationship. Now you're getting mad and you want to get out of a relationship. That is crazy because you accepted it to begin with. If you accept that to begin with, you have to go ahead and accept it all the way through. Or you say, hey, look, let me cut ties to it off the top. Obviously, you like what he was doing to you. You like what she was doing. You like what she was doing to you. If she was using you for a sucker, yet and still you go for that, then you a sucker. That's plain that important sense.
So that's where we have, we've come to this place in the world where we just so damn desperate to have somebody that we paying for.
Yeah, well, that comes along with the territory. They say you pay for what you want.
I ain't finna pay no ninja.
Well,
if I want to buy some shiggity for you, I buy it. You ain't gonna know nothing about it. If I want to give you a gift, that's different. But to pay a monthly fucking bill.
Yeah, they do that. People do that, and that's the thing. And think about it, and it's a generational thing now. I see the women are now in a position. Well now the women are put into place. Now they do the things what men used to do for women. I mean, so women are gonna pay my bill. Like Beyonce made the song, "Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone bill?"
Yeah.
And I started seeing now guys getting it done from women. 3 or 4 women paying the same phone bill. I'm like, how does this work? How do you feel comfortable on just phone bill money though? How do these men feel comfortable on just phone bill money?
That ain't a real man.
Because he's basically had this in his past relationship, so he bring it now. He said, "Oh, it works." So let me go.
He's just a user.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
He's just using you.
Pretty much. This is how this works. That's how this works, and it's working like that. It's been working like that. It's constantly working like that.
I'm gonna say this one thing to you, ladies. If you are fortunate enough to have a good man, that's a real man. Like I'm talking about, like old school man who got his priorities in line, and he know what a man's role is, and he playing that role. Right. You better hold on to him for dear life.
Well, the thing about it is that people always figure. And when you tell them that, they'll think that you don't know what you're talking about.
And that's the truth. And they'll let this good man go. Yeah. And then they done fucked him all up for the next one.
Yeah, they do. And he puts his guards up. So wait a minute, hold up. Right. I'll let this one do this because I know this other one got out.
Right.
So it's going to take him a longer time to start having this trust.
Right. So that's so fucked up on so many levels because... it's people out here who are really good people, and then they run into people like what you're talking about, who ass rape them raw, don't appreciate what they have. I can't tell you how many guys I worked with over the years who were good men. They were faithful. They were good providers. They were protectors. Everything that God, they didn't cheat. Everything that they say a man's supposed to be. They epitomize this. And their wives were so damn ungrateful. Yeah. They didn't cook for them. They ain't clean for them.
Nothing.
And they end up leaving them.
Yeah.
Then they gonna take part of their goddamn picture.
Oh yeah.
And then
exactly.
Then by the next time a new woman come along in this man's life,
Yeah.
he ain't no fucking good
He
to
don't
her.
have no room for her.
He ain't no good to her because he's so fucking damaged.
He's so beat up from all the stuff
Right.
in the past relationship. But, and then he talks about it.
And
Then
that's
he
so
gets to-
fucked up
yeah.
on so many
Yeah,
levels.
but then he gets to the point where he talks about now you run another woman away who probably should
Right.
stay. I understand it. I've seen it several times.
That shit is
That's
so
true. That is so
retarded to me.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, if you got a man that's good, I'm telling y'all, good man is hard to come by these days.
Yeah. I know
They
this.
very rare. They are rare as a black diamond. And if you know anything about black diamonds,
Yeah.
they rare, baby. But if you have one, you better stay there. You better stick
Yeah.
to them like crazy glue.
But I know a lot of you don't want to hear it.
I know they don't want to hear it.
Because the truth is
They don't hear
so,
it. They want to hear it.
the truth can cut through the kabar, which is the spirit and the soul.
Right.
And it's so deep that, a person knows exactly.
I had
what's going
one
on.
of my partners, he gave her his whole check.
Mm-hmm.
Whole check. First and
Right.
16, he giving it to her, the whole damn check. Whole check. He don't see none of it. He working part time.
That was an idiot.
Just
It's
to, for him to live,
There's
give
no
his
way.
little toys.
There's no way in the world. I
And
would
she
do that.
left him. She wasn't satisfied, and she took with her part of his damn pension. And now he's so fucked up he can't keep a relationship.
Right, because nobody's going to stay with that.
I know I wouldn't.
You
I
wanna
wouldn't
stay
deal
with
with
that.
it.
That right there's a beat up nothing. Why am I going to stay with a beat up nothing? Beat up nothing means nothing to me. I can't do me no good. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to stay with nobody.
You're not doing them justice, women. You're not doing them justice.
Yeah.
I mean, you messing these men up mentally.
Yeah, that's true.
And they good men, but once you fuck over them like that, now they fucking ain't no use to nobody else.
And vice versa, because you got a lot of beautiful
Right,
women
and it's
out
the
here.
same way.
You got a lot of beautiful women out here who will go the extra mile for you.
Right.
And yet still the guy has damaged them
And you
so
ain't
very
lying.
badly. Have lied, cheated, and stole
You
from them
ain't
so very
lying.
badly
You're not
that, hey, they be
lying.
like, man, I just don't trust nobody no more. They don't know
And
which
that's-
way to go.
I
They
mean,
don't know which way
that
to go.
puts people who in the middle like us.
Yeah, that's true.
We in between the rock and the hard place.
Yeah, that's true.
You understand what I'm saying?
I'm there. I'm there with you, so I understand it thoroughly. I do. So you
So-
gotta pick your poison very, very carefully.
You
Trust me.
absolutely right. It's awful.
You have to. You gotta pick
It's
it very, very
awful.
close.
Are we nearing the end of our show?
Good.
So, before we end our show, I'm gonna give a shout out. We have a couple of sponsors. We are part of the NMG network. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, feel free to call us at 872-307-3828. Again, that number is 872-307-3828. Our sponsors are Don's Construction.
Yeah, indeed, yes.
For everything construction, remodeling, rebuilding, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Don's Construction got you.
Yeah.
You can reach Don's Construction at 708-735-9580.
Exactly.
We have Kane's Medical Career Training, where the lovely Mrs. Walker is the instructor. You can reach them at Kane's Medical Career Training, lowercase.com, or area code 773-699-8819. If you ever were a CNA and you let your CNA lapse, you need to get recertified. Mrs. Walker can help you with that. Again, that is Kane's Medical Career Training, .com, lowercase, 773-699-8819. Ms. Walker can help you become a CNA or help you recertify. If you have anything that you want to do media-wise, if you want to lay tracks, you want to do a podcast, hit us up. NNG Network is your place for everything media. That number again is 872-307-3828. And again, I'm your girl Val DeVarreaux.
And I'm Prince Dondi.
And what is our motto?
If it ain't broke,
Don't fix it.
It
Stay safe.
is hot as hell in here.
Yes, it is. intro on our last episode 8 we did. Because that was a really good episode. So we did love or lust.